Off on our backs. If you're, you can just stay there. If you're on your back, bring back. If you're on the chair, just kind of practice the Mula Bandhu Jai breath where you're just breathing in and out your nose only. You can keep your eyes open, you can close them. Just a whole different way of breathing where you're just sensitively trying to breathe through your nose as much as possible. And when you breathe this way, you use your lungs 100% instead of 75%. So just closing your eyes or keeping them open, just taking these big, sweet, huge inhales and exhales. Kind of scanning your body, letting the jawbone, the fingers, the toes, just everything kind of relaxing down your body. And just kind of setting up your class, having no expectation, your intention. Every come in a yoga room is just to pamper and heal yourself. So the main priority is just about what you're doing right now. If your hips bother you, slide your feet out in front of you. If your hips feel okay with this, you can bring your heels a little bit closer in towards your body. Just want to feel the chest rising and kind of sinking down. And you can rest one hand on your stomach, put one hand in the middle of your chest just to feel the sweetness of the Mula Bandhu Jai breath that's going to carry you throughout this class. So as you get deeper and deeper in your practice, if you have to breathe through your mouth, you do that. You're able to start to breathe through one nostril and release out of the opposite one. And it's just something that, again, you're practicing. It doesn't happen right away. And then just start to take one more big deep inhale as you're here. Let the exhale release on out. Put your hands on the outside of your knees, kind of sliding your knees in toward each other. Bringing your knees towards your stomach or chest. Keeping the shoulders, the back of the head on the floor. And just gently kind of letting the knees go in a little circle left to right, just to stimulate the lower back. And after you do that a couple more times, left to right, go the complete opposite way, right to left in these little baby circles. And then after you do it one more time, just let the knees come back to center. Let both hands wrap around the top of your right knee or underneath the right knee and sliding your left leg straight down towards the front of your yoga mat. So just whatever's more comfortable. Hands around the top of the knees, shoulders sink down the back of the head. Both hands can come around the knee. And just the gentle flexing of the left foot. And it's almost like you're standing up and bouncing, feeling a string pulling the top of the head to the back of the room as the sole of the right foot kind of grounds into the earth, even though you're on your back. Let your left hand slide down the upper left thigh or hip, just to kind of rest your hand right there, and then open up your right knee gently over to the right side of the room. Little tiny increments, not trying to get anywhere. Like I said earlier, whatever you're doing is absolutely incredibly perfect. And then release the right knee back to center as both hands kind of cradle around the top of the knee. Soothing movement for your stomach, just this basic movement. Releasing either the right leg straight down towards the floor in front of you. You can release the sole of the right foot up towards the ceiling. Just to kind of strengthen the front of the back, putting your palms down if you're doing that. Slowly lining down the right heel. And then as soon as the right heel touches the floor, slide your left knee up. So just take your time, kind of scoot the shoulders down, flatten out the back of the head. Just visualize your spine being connected with your... Just getting nice and long, rotating the right hand on top of that upper hip or thigh there, and then just open up the left knee, just not flinging it open, just little tiny increments so you have room to hang out where you are, or maybe go a little bit deeper, and only going deeper on the exhales, not the inhales. Just a big sweet inhales, like you're smelling a big bouquet of roses, and then letting the breath release on out. So just kind of taking in that fresh oxygen, letting the stale oxygen get out of your body. And then releasing the right knee back to center, or the left knee, I'm sorry, back in towards your body. Let the left leg either slide down towards the floor, or you can raise the left leg up like you did the right leg. Just put your palms down the side of your hips, protecting your back. And then as soon as the left heel hits the floor, just like you're first waking up, just stretch your arms all the way to the back wall behind you, pointing the toes to the front of the room, rolling over to the right side of your body, and just coming into any kind of cross legs that feels cool to you. Just kind of curl up in a little ball like you're hanging out in your mom's tummy. Your hands to gently either let the right leg slide in front of the left, or slide that right leg up a little bit higher. Just the right. Into the first finger as they rest on top of your knees. Just again, another movement where you're just going to close your eyes. Just pull the air out of the lower diaphragm. The exhale. Feel the electricity up and down the spinal cord. And then let your hands connect in toward each other in the middle of your chest. Just setting up your class. Just what is your intention? Why did you decide to walk in this room today? And again, always understanding I'm pampering and healing myself. I'm not going past my point. I'm listening to my body that's constantly communicating to me. So take another big deep inhale. Let the exhale release on out. Softly let the eyes open up. And then just slowly let the hands kind of come in front of you and just kind of lean your feet to the side. Walk your feet back a couple times and go into downward dog on your knees on the first one, where you're just kind of gently being careful on your ankle, working your butt towards your heels, dropping your head down, spreading your fingers apart from each other. Looking up beyond your fingertips as you take your next inhale. And then just dropping your head down as you roll on the outer edge of your pinky fingers and slightly turn your palms up to the ceiling. And then just bring your forehead in the direction of the floor. And just kind of notice what your shoulders are automatically doing here. Instead of jamming in, they're opening up. So this downward dog on your knees or toes is one of the best shoulder movements you can possibly do in your yoga practice. So just take another big deep inhale as you gaze up, and then keep playing with the shoulders open up as you bring your palms back down. Your hands are lined up with your shoulders towards the front of your yoga mat. And then you're just going to take these little baby steps and walk your feet all the way up towards the front of your yoga mat. So just coming up gently, kind of connecting the big toes. And then clicking your feet open with your hips, letting your hands gently brush up and down the back of the legs. And just giving a little micro bend in your legs. So again, I'm not pulling or ripping any of these hamstrings, these tightly wound things in the back of my body. I can either, again, a modification is rest my elbows on top of my hands, bring in my hands in prayer. I can grab my shins. All right, again, the more advanced movement is you can bring your hands into your forearms or elbows and just let the gravity do the magic. So I'm inhaling, I'm trying to relax the feet down in towards the earth. And again, this, just a movement like this. If this bothers my lower back, I'm dealing with back issues, listen to your body, roll out of it early, or take another couple inhales and exhales.
And then as you release the next breath, as slow as you can, just roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, looking in as long as you can as you slowly come up. And then once you do finally come up, just over exaggerate with the shoulders like you got a string on them. Just keep dissolving all that stuff we can tend to hold up there. Release them down. Slide your big toes together. Then just release your arms around the sun for the first time. Just going through these warm hands in prayer. You're gently bowing forward. You're letting the fingers dangle down towards the floor below your shoulders. You don't have to touch the floor. If you can bend the knees. It's not important. And then just look up to the front of the room. Flatten your back. Sink your upper body on in, and then walk your feet all the way to the back of your yoga mat like you're setting up to do a push-up. You can put the knees down, or you just gently want to kind of one by one walk the feet back and get into plank position where you're shifting the shoulders over the wrinkle part of the wrist. If that's not happening, you modify it and you bring your knees down. And then gently, as slow as you can, just walk your feet back. If you have your knees, lie your whole body down on the floor. Set your chin down, come on top of your feet. Bring your thumbs really deep underneath the plate of your chest there, and then put the chin back down, turn your elbows into the rib cage, and just lift just your upper body up. Keep the top of the feet down. Do baby cobra. This is a modification of upward dog. So just on the first one, just wrapping the shoulders back, looking back down, pushing your upper body. If you're comfortable doing downward dog on your toes, do that, or just do downward dog on your knees every single time. So it's not so intense on your wrists. So you do it this way, a little bit more advanced way. You walk your foot back, you open up your feet with the hips. And you feel again,
either way you're doing it, you reap the same benefit. Just kind of dropping your head down, letting the fingers spread out, feeling like you're, again, a waterfall if you're on your feet, where the tailbone's lifting up and everything's streaming down to your fingertips.
And then just take another big deep inhale, let the exhale release on out, and then continue to walk your feet back up towards the front of your yoga mat. So just these basic movements, they're going to set everything up so we're all in a safe place. We're not here to get hurt. We're here to heal and strengthen things. So as your feet walk up, you gaze up, flattening the back once again. You relax all the neck. You micro bend the knees if you need to, or you gently keep the legs straight as you roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. So again, the eyes and the head of the last thing to
come on up. So just reach the fingers up, keep your spine straight, or bend the back backwards to your own degree. And then let the arms come back around the sun. Keep standing and just bring the hands in prayer position once again. Close your eyes. Relax down, grounding my feet down in towards the earth and just getting nice and tall. Just in this perfect posture, but just feeling my chest stick out proudly. My hips are opening up. Electricity is running through my fingertips. And then softly let your eyes open up. Release the arms down. Let the arms slowly come around the sun. Straight spine the whole time, or if you feel comfortable enough, keeping the arms with the ears, let the hips come forward, drop your head back in a back bend, and then open up the wings, looking to the ceiling as long as you can, or keep the hands in prayer if it's better for your back, and then gently control your body forward.
So just more and more as I continue to practice my yoga and strengthen and heal, I'm able to control my body. Gaze up as you take an inhale. Sink it in as you exhale. Walk your feet back into push-up position, plank position.
Just one by one, step your feet all the way back.
Take a big, deep inhale. Control your body all the way down like we did the first time. Baby cobra again. Or if you're a little bit, slide your thumbs underneath the bottom part of your rib cage and then maybe straighten your arms.
Otherwise, again, you don't need to wrench your back. This is an advanced way where you're wrapping open, or you stay low and you do that baby cobra, and then
downward dog. Either you're doing it on your knees or the tailbone lifts up.
And you clean
clean your palate. Every time we come back into these downward dogs, you're just kind of cleaning the slate, cleaning the palate, and moving on this little journey you decided to take today. So take a big, deep inhale. Let that exhale release out of your body. And then slowly bring your left knee down underneath your hip. Slide your right foot as best you can all the way up towards the front of your yoga mat. Staying on your left knee and scoot your right foot over to the right so you can open up your hips. And then one hand at a time, bring it on top of your right knee. Stick your thumbs in your lower back. Just pulling the stomach away from the waist. Pretend like you got an apple underneath your chin so we get into all those glands there, and then release the arms around the sun, keeping the arms lined up with your shoulders. So again, if you feel unstable by lifting the arms up, you just keep your thumbs in your lower back the whole time. You modify the movement, or if you feel comfortable, you release the fingers up, but you don't want to bring the shoulders to the ears. You want to relax the shoulders down, and like you're shaking someone's hand, slide the left arm out towards the front of the room. Bring the left arm back up. Bring the hands in prayer position. Bring the back of the hands up against the imaginary wall, like this, almost like you're a cactus, and then drop your right hand on your knee. Put the left hand down on the floor underneath your left shoulder. So just rest the weight into your left hand, put the right hand on your knee, and then either keep the right hand on the knee or lift your right arm all the way up to the sky. First twist here, so be sensitive. You don't have to look to the right. You can look to the left the whole time. Feel like the extension of the top of the head, the sternum's reaching out to where your right toes are pointing. You're either looking down to the left hand, the right foot, or over to the right wall or up, to stacking the right shoulder on top of the left shoulder. And then slowly release the right hand back down on the knee or the outside of your right foot. And then pivot on your left toe. Slide your left knee off the floor, and as best you can, drag or slide your right foot all the way back into push-up position. Just play with it. Keep your knees down or keep pushing on the toes, lining up your butt with your shoulders, and then lie your whole body back down on the floor. So let your whole body lie down. Straight arms, or do that baby cobra. Straighten your arms. Get the thumbs all the way underneath the bottom part of your rib cage if you're doing the bent arms. Just wrap it open, unfold your body in upward, and then come back into your downward dog. Knees with my butt working to my heels, staying on my toes as I walk my feet back. Take in that fresh, beautiful oxygen. Kind of breathing, slowing down the beat of your heart, calming your nervous system as you move your body in all these different ways. Stimulating not only, again, the outside of your body, but the inside. You're massaging all these internal organs. So take another big, deep inhale. Let the exhale release on out, and then either put your right knee down to get your left foot all the way up to the front of your yoga mat, or just slide that left foot all the way up towards the front of your yoga mat. So just the knee comes down. Some of you that are modifying, you scoot the left foot all the way up. You scoot it towards the left side of your yoga mat so your hips are squared off. You got some stability. And then you walk both hands on top of that left knee of yours. The eyes gently just start to go up. You kind of over-exaggerate the shoulders, release them down. Scoot the left foot a little bit more towards the left side of your yoga mat. You'll have a little better stability. And then stick your thumbs in your lower back. Release the arms around the sun as you just kind of zone into something in front of you. Turn the palms toward each other. Feel the electricity coming through your fingertips. And then stretch out the right arm out towards the front of the room. Bring the right arm back up. Bring the hands into the middle of the chest. Push the back of the hands up against that imaginary wall. And then without even looking down, just find your left hand, finding your left knee, and then look down towards the floor as you put your right hand down. And this is the way I'm going to twist, is I just look on the outside of my left foot, modification, or bring the left arm out like a wing, little bit deeper movement, or stack the whole left shoulder on top of the right shoulder. Whatever feels right to me. Your body's constantly communicating something to you, so you want to listen to all that stuff. It's manageable enough for me to calmly breathe. So one more big deep inhale, twist it open, release the left hand back on the knee or the outside of the left foot. Drag that left knee back, come into downward dog on your knees. As you crawl your knees back a couple times, don't force it, be kind to your ligaments, bring your butt towards your heels. Just keep clawing your fingers forward, spreading your fingers apart from each other, turning the inner elbows slightly in toward each other. As you take your next inhale, look beyond the front of your yoga mat towards the front of the room, and then sink your chest back down, and then gently continue to walk your feet one by one all the way back to the front of your yoga mat. So you're just taking these little baby steps, clicking the toes and heels together, letting your body hang forward, and then pushing the feet in the earth as you come up on a slow, big, deep inhale. So push the feet down, let the arms come around the sun, bend the back backwards to your own degree, and then bring the hands in towards the middle of your chest. Let the hands release down the side of your body as you stick the thumbs in your lower back, ground your left foot into the floor. So the left foot's your foundation. You're going to pivot on the right toes and then bring the right foot either into the inner knee or thigh in tree pose. You can step your right foot on top of your left foot if that's more comfortable for you, or just kind of find where your balance points are again as you roll on the inner or outer edge of that foot. Let that sole of the foot come into that inner left knee. Yeah. And then just keep turning that right knee out, lifting the chin up, sticking the chest out proudly, bringing the hands in prayer position, and then slowly reaching the fingers up towards the sky. So just play with it. It's good to fall. Sometimes you're strengthening something that heals the core of your body, that left ankle, your right ankle, you're balancing on one leg. You're breathing calmly as you just tap your foot down and come out of it, or you just sticking it. It really doesn't matter. So take another big deep inhale, let it exhale, slide the hands back down, control your right foot next to your left foot. Turn your palms towards the front of the room, roll your shoulders up, let them release down, stick your thumbs in your lower back, and then ground your right foot down into the earth as you pivot on the left toes. So one leg's usually different from the opposite leg. So you just want to feel the whole sole of your right foot grounding in as you're pivoting on the left toes, micro bending the right leg a little bit, and then finding your left foot sliding up high or low into my calf and my inner knee, and just turning that left knee slightly over towards the left side of the room. More my eyes are on a level plane, looking straight ahead, because my head weighs a good 25 pounds. Everything's going to pull me forward, so just my eyes are straight ahead, staring through the wall, whatever's in front of you. As I get my bearings, or if I don't have my bearings, keep your hands here. If you have your bearings, bring your hands in prayer. And then just letting the fingers go past the eyes, reaching the arms up. Letting the arms go out like airplane wings, turning the palms up to the ceiling. Bringing the palms back in toward each other. And then slowly controlling my left foot, bringing it next to my right foot. Just round the feet into the earth. Look down towards your toes touching, and just sit into this first chair pose. So you don't want to let the knees cover the top of the feet. You should be able to see them the whole time. Dangle the fingers down, and then let the arms come around the sun as you just let the eyes stay on the floor, or you look up a little bit higher if that feels comfortable for you. So you're getting into the place where you're bending your back from the lower coccyx all the way up towards your neck. So one more big deep inhale, Utkatasana in Sanskrit. This means intense. And then let the exhale of your breath kind of fold you forward. Gaze up as you take an inhale. Sink it in, and then gently walk your feet back into that plank position. So one by one, I walk my feet back. I gently lower down into that chaturanga, or baby. And upward. Back into your downward dog.
Open up the feet with the hips. Feel the gentle hand on your lower back, tilting the tailbone up. Sliding around, yeah. Lift your right leg gently towards the back of the room. And then see if you can bring your right knee in towards your chest. Keep that knee up there. Just kind of rotate it in, bringing your forehead towards the knee. And then lift the right leg back up in that three-legged downward dog. Beautiful. Let the right foot come all the way up towards the front of your yoga mat. Keep scooting it up there so it's beyond your fingertips. Stay on the balls of your left toes. And then as you drop your head down, look down towards that left foot and make sure you're on the train track instead of the tightrope. So scoot your left foot to the left or your right foot to the right more. Yes. Place the left hand down, reach the right arm up to the sky. Let that spine twist open once again. Take a big deep inhale, twist a little bit more, then release the right hand either on the knee or the outside of the right foot. And then walk both hands on top of your right knee. Stick your thumbs in your lower back, kind of screw that left toe into the earth. Pulling the stomach away from the waist, just kind of getting into your bearings here. First lunge, so I don't have to just dive into it. I back it off a little bit. I'm doing everything sensibly, sinking a little bit deeper into it, and then adding the movement of the arms coming around the sun, arms staying with the shoulders. Same thing we did before. Reach the left arm out to the front of the room to rotate the left hip. Bring the left arm up. Hands come in prayer position. And then slowly, keeping your eyes looking straight ahead, but bringing the hands over to the right or bringing your eyes over to the right if you want to go a little bit more advanced. Just kind of lunging into this, backing it off, and then letting the spine get straight. Release the arms down. Let them come back around the sun. And then rest your right hand on the knee. Put the left hand down. Scoot your right foot to the left, and then pivot your back foot in a 45-degree angle. And then bring your right hand on the outside of your right foot. You want to stay really high on fingertips like you're doing. Not forcing, you're kind of melting your right sit bone into your body, turning the left hip to where your right toes are pointing. Coming into this first warrior one is you either walk the hands on the knee or you pull your arms back and gently just kind of grounding the outer edge of the back foot into the floor as much as the front foot is. And then eventually either keeping the hands in the lower back or reaching the arms up and away. So it's just a whole little tug-of-war game with, again, my body's being pulled in so many different directions. My right knee's lunging towards the direction of the ankle. I'm not even looking that way. My arms are reaching up as my shoulders relax down. My right hip's rotating the back of the room as my left hip works forward. And then extend the left arm out towards the front of the room. Bring the left arm up. Bring the hands in prayer position. Push the back of the hands up against that imaginary wall. Release the arms back up to the sky and come into that proud warrior two. Just reach the right fingers towards me, the left fingers to the back of the room. And then just by you just taking your eyes and looking to your own inner left hip, your left hip's going to stick out a little bit. You want to melt it in. So look down to your left hip, kind of melt it into your body as fast as you can. Your feet are in perfect alignment. And then start to let the eyes gaze off to that right middle finger. As you equally reach the fingers to the front of the room as much as you're reaching the left fingers to the back of the room. Turning the right palm up to the ceiling, letting the left hand slide down the back of the leg, and just getting into every little crevice in the right side of your rib cage here. There's not a machine, there's not a pill in this world that gets into the spot in your body and bring a lot of light into a dark area. Now come back into your warrior two. Drop your right elbow on top of the right knee. Lift the left arm up to the ceiling. Go a little bit deeper. See if you can bring your right hand on the middle inside of that right foot as you keep looking down there. And then as I look down towards that right hand or top of the right foot, bring the right hand off the floor, come back into warrior two. Spiral the hands down to the floor. Pivot on the left. Slide the right foot back into plank position. And lower your body down into that chaturanga or baby cobra. Let everything unfold in upward doggy. And then release it back into your downward dog on your knees or your... like we do sometimes when we get scared or something again occurs, we take this kind of sigh out of our body. You want to do that sometimes when you practice your yoga. You're feeling the breath deep in the back of the throat. Your mind that loves to go all these different places are kind of more and more coming to a place where you're in the moment and present, and you're taking care of you deeply from the inside out. So either keep your left foot down or lift your left foot towards the back of the room. Slide your left knee towards your chest. Bring your forehead towards the knee. Shift a little bit more forward, almost like you're doing plank position, lifting the hips up, and then re-extend your left leg up and away in that three-legged downward dog. Let your left foot come all the way up towards the front of your yoga mat.
So as you get deeper into your practice, the foundation is so important. You want to keep scooting that left foot up, pivot the back foot flat down, and then pivot back on the right toe. Slide your left foot over a couple inches. So come back on top of your right toe, and then push the right hand down, hold on to the left knee, and then twist the spine open. So as you twist open, the first thing that's going to dump down is that right hip. So work on each exhale to lift the right hip up, squaring it more and more off with the left hip. Nothing's done with perfection. Sometimes instead of looking to the left, you look down to the right hand. You don't have to go so extreme, but you know better than I, so listen to how your body's feeling. You know your body better than any yoga teacher you're ever going to take a class with, so listen to all that stuff. Take another big deep inhale, let it twist open, and then rest the left hand back down on the earth. Walk both hands on top of your left knee and come all the way up to that high lunge crescent. Just pushing the toe into the earth, eventually letting the arms come around that sun. Relaxing the shoulders down, lifting the chin up. Reaching with the right arm out to the front of the room to turn the right hip a little bit more. Sliding the right arm back up, looking up to the sky, almost bending your back backwards. Hands come in prayer, and then control the hands all the way back down towards the floor. And now pivot your back foot in a 45-degree angle, lining up the heels.
Just melting your left sit bone into your body, turning the right hip towards the front of the room, walking your arms either on top of your knee or pull your arms back, or stick your thumbs in your lower back. And just keep feeling, not forcing my right hip, but rotating my left hip back, turning my right hip forward, and then adding all that extra gravity by lifting the arms up. If that feels right to you here and now. Once again, my right arm reaches to the front of the room to rotate the right hip. Right arm comes up. I open up into my warrior two as I turn my palms down. I spread my fingers away from each other. I get either to the place I'm looking to that left middle finger the whole time, or just the right hip that's protruding out. I look down to that and it'll melt into your body a little bit more and more. And as I look down and my right hip comes in, I can see the alignment of my heel. Left heel's lined up with my right heel. And then I turn my left palm up. I slide my right hand down the back of the leg. Come back into that proud warrior two pose where I bring my left elbow either on my knee or slide it on the middle inside of that foot. And if I bend my left forearm down a little bit, tuck that shoulder in, that shoulder will keep that knee opening up, and then reach a little bit higher with the right hand. Just like you're falling back against that imaginary left wall behind you, the back of the right hand, the back of your head. Second chance, a little luck to come my way. And then as gently, sensitive as you can, let the left hand come off the floor, come back into warrior two. Spiral the hands down to the earth. Pivot on the right foot, slide the left foot back, plank. Lower down into that baby cobra, or keep your arms into your rib cage. Let your body unfold as you come on top of your feet, wrapping your shoulders back. And then end up in down doggy. So just another day, another downward doggy. Best shoulder movement you could possibly do. Walk your hands back towards your feet one by one. So let the hands just go back towards the feet that are open with the hips. As your body's getting a little bit warmer and warmer, you can let the hands either continue to kind of massage the back of the legs, or put your hands into your forearms or elbows and just get into an even deeper lower back release here.
Take in that fresh oxygen. Let that stale oxygen get on out of there. So just keep grounding the feet into the earth. Let the fingers dangle down. Hook the 2-piece fingers around the big toes. Roll your eyes up towards the front of the room. Sink it in. Kind of shake your head, either like you're nodding the word no or in a circle. And just as you take your next inhale, just gaze beyond your toes to the front of your yoga mat. Sink it in. Let the hands release. Walk your hands back up to the front of your yoga mat. Gently lower your body all the way down into this last little upward dog. So you just come on through. And then just lie back down on your yoga mat there. Set your chin down. Come on top of your feet. Interlace your fingers behind you. Pressing the top of the feet down, lifting the chin off the floor, lift the top of the feet off the floor. Keep the legs up like that. Let the arms open up like airplane wings. Kind of roll your eyes up a little bit more and more, and then see if you can bend that right leg and find the outside of your right ankle or just fake clasp it. And then do the same thing with the left. Knees either open up if your knees are bad, knees come together if they're okay. And then use the strength of your arms and legs to kind of blast everything on up and away. Beautiful. Keep everything up. Let the arms come out like airplane wings, straighten the legs. And then just bring your head down like you're using your hands like a pillow. Just rest on the right ear or left ear. And then just let the hands go below the chest, lifting your upper body up. Crawling the knees forward. Either turn the feet to the side or cross your ankles and slide both legs straight out in front of us. And then just again, it's not about you grabbing your toes if you can, great. You either keep your hands on each side of the hips, each side of the thighs, grab towards the feet if that's happening, or you can even hook the 2-piece fingers around the big toes and just kind of take a big deep inhale. Fold your body forward as you exhale. Not trying to get anywhere, wherever you're at, it's perfect. Sometimes using this mantra is just not to force, not to jam. And then slowly, as you roll your eyes beyond the toes, as you take an inhale, you sink it in. You control your body down by sliding your fingers up, your knees, your thumb. Bring in the shoulders, the back of the head down eventually as you kind of open up the hips. And then just walk your heels in towards the back of your thighs. So one by one, keep letting those heels slide in. Your toes are lined up with your hips. Your knees are as wide as your hips. And push the palms down to the floor as you reach towards your heels and lift your hips up like someone can slide a piece of paper underneath your lower back in bridge pose. Give it another little blast on up, and then gently just lower your butt back down towards the floor. All the people down there. Cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. Take your left foot off the floor, the back of your head, and see if you can either wrap around the top of the knee or underneath it. And then bring the shoulders and the back of the head back down. Flex that top right foot. Let the bottom foot kind of relax. Keep tucking the chin in, flattening out the back of the head. And then slowly just release the right ankle off the left knee. Bring the right heel in the back of the thigh. Just do the opposite side. Just careful if you're dealing with bad knees or hips. Just wrap. Let that left hand go through the whole right hand on the outside. So this hip
is the biggest, largest storage department in our body. This is where we stuff all our frustration, all our anger, all our drama. So let all that stuff get on out of there. Just let your left knee or left ankle slide off and bring your left knee next to your right knee. Flare your knees on the outside of your rib cage. Turn the soles of the feet to the ceiling. Bring your peace fingers around the big toes and do happy baby pose. Great movement if you're dealing with any back issues to flatten out the lower back like this. You can even slightly open up the legs a little bit wider. Bring the legs straight up to the ceiling as your fingers release. Slide your hands underneath your butt, fingers facing towards the front of the room, and just lower the right leg down, lower your right heel into the floor. Bring the right leg back up. Do the same thing with the left ankle, heel. Bring it back up. Readjust the hands as they're underneath your butt, back, and then bring both heels down. Right before the heels touch the floor, see if you can lift the back of the head off the floor in fist pose, and then pushing the elbows in, then look to the back room. And then release everything down. Open up your feet as wide as the front of your yoga mat. Close your eyes as you turn your palms up. Let the thumb touch into the first finger and just surrender. One of the most important poses in your yoga practice is this one right here. So just give yourself these couple of minutes just to let your bodies integrate and acclimate everything that just occurred in this little major flow and dance you were just able to do. Just continue to have that mindset where your mind doesn't go wandering off thinking about who knows what or where. You're just staying in this place. The only time I'll ever ask you to force yourself to do anything is Savasana, where you're staying present in the moment. You're just taking this time, just being so thankful you took this opportunity out of your busy lives to practice your yoga. You're so thankful your body's healthy enough to practice your yoga. You're thankful for anything and everything that brings a lot of love and joy into your heart. Just building that snowball of gratitude so when the hard places come, they give us a lot of strength, wisdom, and insight. Beautiful job taking care of everything from the inside out. Namaste.